Hey everybody. What would you guys like to do? What's your goals? What are you interested in? That's the whole purpose of this stream. I'm here to try to talk about, well, whatever you guys want to talk about. Are you interested in networking? Are you interested in Android? What's going on with Amazon? What, you know, what type of electronics you should buy? Should you buy a NAS? Should you use a NAS? Should you not use a NAS? Are you interested in handheld gaming? Are you interested in Windows information like the new Windows 12? Networking. How should you configure your networking? What's the best for the money? What's the most economic way to go in that area? What are you interested in? That's what I'm here to ask everybody today so that you guys, if you watch this stream later, leave a comment down below and let me know what you're interested in because I'm very interested in knowing what you guys would like to know about. Are you, interested in network switches? Are you interested in Linux? Are you interested in setting up your router? What are you interested in? What would you like to do? That's what I'm here asking you guys today about. Let's see if any, but well, we got a couple of people watching in here. Let's see. Josh, I see you there. How have you been, Josh? I've been doing great. Been doing really good, guys. Um, I'm just interested in getting back into maybe, doing some videos for you guys, showing you guys some information and some content. But this channel's for you. So I, you know, that's why I'm first of all doing a little search out for what people are interested in from my channel today. Are you guys? I mean, because I don't want to just, you know, do just arbitrarily whatever videos. I would like to do stuff that you guys are wanting to know about, and to a certain extent, because obviously there is certain guidelines I have to follow on YouTube, and if you're looking to learn more about things that I can't show here, there is the Telegram group. You can go ahead and come over there to the group there, and we can discuss more. I can post a video for you on a tutorial on how to do a certain thing or about something. So there are a lot of options available. YouTube reaches a lot more people, obviously, so this is a great place to go and give information on whatever anybody's interested in. I have a lot of knowledge. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything, but I like to come and share my knowledge with you all. Um, are you interested in making your Windows machine safer? Are you interested in whether or not you should run Windows 11, Windows 10, or what's new about Windows 12? Um, are you interested about handheld PCs? What you should or should not use? What might be the best option out there for you? That depends on the person and what kind of games you want to play, obviously. Whether you want to play on a Steam Deck or whether you want to play on a Windows handheld PC or whether you want to play on a any variety of other devices. Did
Her
you need
nurse
some?
is on the phone.
Who?
Her nurse.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back. Had a phone call. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that. Let's see. Donald. Hello, Donald. Josh. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call I had to go take care of really quick. So yeah, I was just jumping on here to, like I said, looking for input from all of you guys. What are you guys interested in? What does everybody want to know about? Networking, PC information. Do you want to know about what's going on with the latest TV boxes? Obviously, Amazon, own, whatever. I can only do so much in that space because YouTube limits what I can get, information I can give to you guys. But there is a lot of good information I can relay out there to you. If anybody has questions, post a comment in this video and I will comment back with an answer. Join the Telegram group and get some answers there from a wide variety of other people there that know a lot of information as well. Handheld PCs, Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, handheld, new devices that are coming from Microsoft, Xboxes, looking into putting out a handheld device. Windows 12 looks like it's been pushed back so that it won't come out the end of this year, maybe the beginning or the middle of next year at best, if that. So there is a lot of news going on in the tech space with Microsoft, including the Xbox. Major changes with Xbox. Major changes going on there with them releasing some titles on PlayStation. Them pushing more of a subscription-based service for all of you. So Xbox news, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of new stuff going on there. A lot of Xbox people are really upset. Some people don't care. It's kind of an odd situation. A lot of news going on with Amazon. It's one of the reasons why I jumped on right now is there's a lot of news going on. Amazon's switching their OS around probably in a year roughly. We're going to start seeing a lot of changes on the new Amazon devices. They removed ADB from some of the most recent devices as well with updates. There's a lot of things going on that's going to make Amazon devices not as versatile, not with the ability of side-loading apps. So that's going to change. So you probably don't want to go down the Amazon route right now. I would recommend other devices that do more. Amazon's devices are also pushing more ads than ever. So if you want something that doesn't push as many ads, there's other options out there. So that's something we can talk about. There's lots of other things we can talk about as far as tech when it comes to networking. What's the best way to do your network? NASs. Should you not buy a NAS? What NASs are good? What kind of NAS should you go with? How should you, design your network? What I would recommend to you is not necessarily what might be right for you. So everybody always has to kind of look at multiple options to decide what works best for you in your situation. For instance, if you're wanting to do a Plex server, we can talk Plex information. MB and Jellyfin are options that I consider them backups to Plex. Plex I feel is the best option still out there today, although those other options are good options, don't get me wrong. You've also got options like, well, if I'm going to do that, should I get a NAS? And a NAS is a good option for you to go with if you're just doing local in your home only. Most of your NASs, unless you spend a lot of money on one, doesn't do great over the internet, sharing with people outside your home, depending on how many people you're sharing with. So that's something to think about. You should look at the hardware requirements from the company that makes this stuff specifically. If you're going to do Plex, you should go to Plex and read up about what they recommend you running as well. So, that's what you should always do. I always recommend go directly to the company and go by their recommendations, number one. Don't go by some Joe Blow recommending you do this and that and this and that. The company that makes the software is usually going to be the best place for you to find out what's going to work best and what they recommend with it. So, for instance, a lot of people talk about running a Shield as a Plex server, or you can run these other devices as Plex server, Raspberry Pi. So You can run them as Plex servers. Are they recommended? No, they're not recommended. So you got to read up on that, from Plex. Plex says ARM-based processors, they don't support transcoding at all. So, but unless you pay for a Plex pass, you're not getting hardware transcoding anyway. So that's something that won't matter to you possibly anyway. So there's a lot of things to think about whether you should or should not buy a Plex Pass. Plex Passes can be monthly, they can be yearly, or you can buy a lifetime one like I did. So Plex is also free. If you want to set up a free Plex, you don't have to pay a penny. Plex is great. I had a free Plex for a couple of years and it ran really, really well for me. I decided to go with the Plex Pass when it was on sale, waited for the right deal, and I bought it for a really good price. So these are some things for all of you guys to take into consideration. For me, I use on my network, I use a Dell i7 PC that is an older one that only cost a couple of $100, so it's well within a nice budget. And you can then go ahead and do a lot of upgrades to machines like that. So for instance, on my Dell, I installed a card, and one of the things that I'd like to talk about is networking and speed of networking. So this is a 2.5 gig Ethernet card. That particular Dell had a 1 gig on board. So I ordered and installed a card. They're not too awfully expensive, but this is an extra one that I'm going to be putting in another PC. So I'm upgrading. My entire network I've been slowly transitioning it to the fastest speed I can go to. So that's important. Routers like these right here, this is a router that opens up, and this is all of these Ethernet ports are 2.5 gig. This also has a 3.2 Gen 2 USB on it, and USB-C. It's got HDMI out on it. It's got a lot of features. This is a full-on PC. You can load Windows on this. So this could actually be a streaming box if you really wanted it to be. But this particular box right here is something I ordered that I'm running what's called pfSense on. And pfSense is a software you load onto it, and you run it as your own router for your own software to be able to do just a wide variety of things. And that'll be a whole separate video that I'll do down the line. And then you need network switches. So like this is a 2.5 gig network switch. So this would be a network switch you would implement into your network to give your network the ability to run completely 2.5 gig. So what I recommend, what I did was I built my network modular. I didn't want everything built in, like I didn't want the Wi-Fi and the router all built in together. So generally my router doesn't have Wi-Fi, although that router does have a Wi-Fi card slot, and you can put Wi-Fi antennas on it. I opted to get one without Wi-Fi because I already knew what I was going to be doing was putting a Wi-Fi 6E mesh kit, eventually go to Wi-Fi 7. So I got these. Now these, I want you to notice that these devices have these two devices. I can add more to the mesh if I want to, but they also got 2.5 gig Ethernet on them as well. So the entire network's 2.5 gig Ethernet, and that's not overdoing it at all these days, because with 5 gig Ethernet coming into play, I mean, wow, I mean, we got some really fast Ethernet coming in. I personally only have a 1 gig connection at the moment, while I have the ability to get 5, and I've had the ability to get 5 for a while. And I'll maybe be going to 2 gig Ethernet at some point down the road. What's up, HBR? Nice to see you. I see you in the chat there. So I'm just talking tech talk, all types of tech, whether it be phones, TV boxes, handheld PCs, Windows-based PCs, NAS, network, routers, switches, you name it. Pretty much anything network that you want to, that anybody wants to talk about, they can talk about. Leave me a comment down below to let me know what you guys would like to see from my channel going forward. So I do plan on pushing some informational videos out about a lot of these things, especially what I was showing right now. Just a quick glimpse at some of the things. Also, let's see, like the own boxes. What do I? Some people ask me, well, what do you run? I run this, the Formula Z11. I would recommend this highly. And one of the reasons why I use this is this functions on my network, and it sees my server and my NAS, and I can access all of the storage from my server. So everything, it's all about compatibility. Make sure all your stuff communicates together, all works together. So my Android TV box communicates to my NAS. It talks to my Plex. My Plex talks to all my other PCs in the house, as well as my NAS, because that NAS and the Plex are the same thing. That's a server that does all of my network serving throughout my entire house. So everything talks to it. So that's, one of the things. And, then like my server, one of the things I upgraded was, the green screen is kind of fading that out in and out a little bit. This is a USB card. So the important thing about this is people got to understand bandwidth. So when I designed the network, I was designing it using USB hard drive boxes. So when you're using USB hard drive boxes, I bought 2 4 hard drive boxes. They were USB 3.2 Gen 2. That's very important because those are 10 gig each. That card has 2 of those 10 gig ports on it. So I was able to hook each one of those boxes up to a separate 10 gig port, giving me 20 gig of bandwidth total to all those hard drives. That is important to design your network and your everything else, including your USBs and everything. A lot of people don't understand. Just plug all your USBs in and don't matter. It's not how it works. You'll have a set amount of bandwidth that comes out. Even if you've got plug in a USB hub, you're plugging into that main USB port. That main USB port can only have so much bandwidth. So if you got a whole bunch of hard drives, that bandwidth is shared between all those hard drives, which means that it slows down, if they're constantly being hit at the same time. So you got to understand how that bandwidth works so that you can get a smooth operation of your data flowing throughout your network and through on your PC. Because you may have a PC at home. You may have a USB, one USB 3.2 Gen 2 port on it. And you have other 3.0 ports. And if you don't understand the difference, then you plug your fast 3.2 hard drive maybe that you've got into one of the 3.0 ports, you're greatly decreasing the performance and speed that you can use for copying and moving data around. So those are all things to understand, and hooking things up into the right ports to make sure you're getting your maximum amount of performance is important. And that can be very tricky because each machine's different. You don't necessarily always know what ports are what on every machine. That's why I bought a card where I knew exactly how the card was designed and I knew what ports were what. That way I'm actually using separate bandwidth on that card, and then my other set of a big 8 hard drive bay that holds 8 hard drives, that is plugged into a separate USB 3 port, so that's using a whole separate set of bandwidth for moving data around. So everything moves around in a nice, smooth, fast way. So those are just some, small details. There's a lot to go over when it comes to tech, guys. I mean, a lot to go over. That's why I'm asking you guys, what are you guys interested in? Does anybody have any questions about something particular? I saw a good video today that was particularly about Windows and the fact that Microsoft, because of automatic updates, can, do a lot of bad things to your computer because they put updates into your PC automatically. and those updates don't always work as planned, or they could be malicious. I mean, but at the end of the day, the most of the worry is that they could mess your computer up because, well, could be just a bad update, which has happened in the past. Microsoft has had to roll back updates because they didn't work properly. So it's a good idea to not do your automatic updates. But people say, well, but Windows does it automatically. I can't stop it. I can't turn it off. And there's a little program called Win Update Stop that I actually have a video about on this channel that will actually turn off Windows updates. WinAreo Tweaker also is another useful tool running Windows 11 because it lets you turn on and change a lot of features in Windows that has been turned off by Microsoft. I plan on doing a separate video on WinAreo Tweaker. I plan on doing a new updated video on WinUpdate Stop. It's a very simple program though. The first video was on Windows 10, so I plan on doing a Windows 11 version of that video. And then there is also Classic Shell, which is very nice because it brings back the classic start button along with all of the new Windows 11 start features that are in Windows as well. So those are things a lot of people probably would like to know about in order to get their Windows maybe configured the way they like it. Everybody's a little different. Yeah, updates. I don't like automatic updates. My thinking is if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Don't do any updates until something's not working. When something's not working, you look for a specific update that will fix that particular problem. So yeah, there's there's a lot of, I think, goodness in that statement right there. Everybody should think about that. The only updates I have go automatically is my virus protection updates. That's about it. Other than that, I don't really do anything, have any updates go automatically. I don't even have my backups for my server go automatically. I turn on my backup hard drive box when I'm ready for the updates to go. And then I go and turn on my well, not updates, but backups to go. And then I go and manually set the backup program to go for each individual drive for that purpose. And I use a software called Mirror Folder that actually kind of automates it, and it would automate it completely if I really wanted it to. So it's a really good software for backups, and probably should do a video on that for all of you that want a really good backup solution for your Windows-based PCs. Because a lot of people talk about, oh, a NAS does this so easily and this, and this. And well, yeah, it's got a lot of things you can install easily, but you're dealing with a proprietary operating system from that NAS company, and you're dealing with relying on them to make sure that the App Store is kept up to date and working for it to continue to work properly. Whereas if you were to run a Windows-based unit, you've actually got more options available to you software-wise, program-wise, and you can actually load more servers onto it depending on what kind of server you want to run, instead of running a Synology NAS or running a QNAP NAS, which you can get some really nice ones of those. I'm not knocking them completely. They're good devices, don't get me wrong. It just depends on the person as to what really kind of works out best for them. DG, how's it going? Revo uninstall. Oh yeah, Revo uninstaller. I've used that for years. That's another very useful tool. Very good uninstall tool. People should definitely use that. They have a free version of it that works really well. And what it does is that it actually gives you a couple of different uninstall levels. So if you want it to just scan your computer for all remnants of the program, it'll do that, but it'll also scan the registry and remove all reference to the program in there as well. There's been quite a few programs that I couldn't uninstall through the Windows uninstaller the normal way, and I've had to use Revo uninstaller to actually get the program out of the computer. So it's a very powerful and useful tool. Another one that I recommend highly. Yeah, that was a good, good for you to mention that, HBR. I highly recommend it. I use it, and I would recommend everybody go ahead and install the free one of that and run it. And when it comes to um, software out there, man, there's so much stuff, and there's stuff I don't know about. I'm always learning about new tools and new things every day. Um, so I'll be letting you guys know when I learn about something new as well. Hopefully that helps you all out. Yeah, it's great. WinAreo Tweaker, if you're running Windows 11 out there, guys, I can't stress enough. WinAreo Tweaker has so many options in it. It turns on and re-enables a lot of things that are disabled that shouldn't be disabled uh, from Microsoft. And it allows you to also reconfigure a lot of things in Windows, turn on a lot of features that are gone. Uh, you know, uh, it's just ridiculous. I'm not even going to go into details on all of that, but there's a lot. I mean, it just has amazing amount of settings in there for you to get Windows configured the way you want it. All right. Um, so I think I'm going to cut this live stream off for now. Just wanted to come on and do a quick live stream and see how my equipment was working. And hopefully everything was working well and things are good. And I hope you guys all have a great evening. And leave me comments. Tell me what you want to see. And I will definitely work on making that happen and push out some videos for you all and show you and give you some good tutorial information um, as long as I'm able to. So, hey, catch y'all later. Have a good night and see you in the next stream. Let's see, Mike Johnson. Any preferences on media centers such as Plex, Jellyfin, and Emby? I use Plex. Jellyfin and Emby are not bad. I don't have anything bad to say about them. I just think Plex is the best option. If you want a completely free option, Plex will do the job. Jellyfin and Emby are also excellent other options. Jellyfin is also probably the number 2 because it's free. Emby costs so just like Plex for the Plex Pass, but people will say, "Oh, Plex isn't free." Well, it is. If you want to set up a free Plex, you can. Plex, you don't have to pay Plex anything. You can set up a collection. I had a free Plex running for a couple of years, and it absolutely works fine for free, especially if you're just doing it in your local home, in your home, and not sharing it with a lot of friends. It runs fine, and if you get a good server, it will actually run pretty well, even sharing with a few friends that are not in your house too, because I did it. You just have to go by the recommendations that Plex has. Make sure you get a machine with enough RAM and a powerful enough processor to handle your Plex halfway decently, instead of getting a low-end, low-wattage, low-powered NAS, because the entry-level NASs are not very powerful. Some of the newer ones coming out today are better. You're getting some 12th gen Celeron, some 12th gen Intels that are not running too bad. So that being said, I personally still don't like going that way because I don't like being tied down to with their proprietary software in those NASs. So because when you're talking about making a Plex server, Jellyfin or Emby, one of the first things is, what are you going to use for a server? Because it's not what's best. Because you can make anything. You can take that server you build and you can make it. If Plex is gone tomorrow, I'm sure I could pick something else up like Jellyfin and make it my primary server instead. I like Plex because of also the easiness of adding friends. Because all they got to do is set up a free Plex account. They give you your email and you send them an invite and you're done. It's not quite as easy. Also, the apps aren't as polished in Jellyfin or Emby. As far as I think how smooth and how well the apps run. Because it's maybe 6 months ago last time I used them. But the last time I used them, that's the way it felt to me. As I tried to use them and put the apps on my boxes, and I threw the server on, and it didn't last very long for me. I took them off. I took the server, Jellyfin and MB servers off, and just stuck with Plex. And I figured, okay, maybe I'll revisit that later down the line, and you know, that's probably what'll happen. Yeah, I create my own server, and I can give you information on what I would recommend purchasing. And a good, if you want something really inexpensive, you can get a 7th or 8th gen i7 little small form factor Dell Optiplex. Those things are meant to run 24 hours a day. They run forever. They run great. They're not very highly powered, and I would recommend one of those. You pair that, you start with that. You put yourself a nice SSD in there because they'll take an NVMe, put a nice drive in there. You can put a full size big drive as well, and you don't even need an external hard drive. So you can put yourself a 12, 16 terabyte, whatever, and that gets you started, right? So that would get you your start. You put one big drive in, and you don't need a bunch of external drives. So you can have one big drive, and you got your boot drive, and you're ready to go. And then from there you can start, like, okay, well, once you start needing more space, then you can start deciding, well, okay, what can I buy for what price, hard drive wise, and what route do I want to go? Chuck, nobody knows what Walmart plans to do with Vizio because it's just too new of a situation. They just bought Vizio. So, from my reading, they're mainly wanting to buy Vizio so they can push Walmart ads through the Vizio's smart TV platform. How that's going to affect the own boxes, I have no clue. I don't think anybody really does yet, unless you're a high up at Walmart that maybe they already had a future plan in place. Um, so the own boxes have been too cheap in my opinion anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised that we see um, a dumbed down uh, version of the OS from Vizio on a box. That doesn't mean that we'll see the Google TV own box go away either. That could just go up in price, and they could put the budget box out as that, which won't obviously won't have any side load capabilities or anything like that. But that's just a guess on my part. I really don't know what their plan is. I mean, the first own box they put out, it went away and they didn't have any for a while, and then they brought a new one out. So maybe the own box that we're seeing on the market right now, maybe they'll slow down production on it, and maybe they won't be available anymore. But that's just a guess. I don't know. No, I don't think any of us do. If it's a device you like, they're so cheap, go buy a couple of them. They're less than $20. Just put a couple away, and there you go for a rainy day. Um, yeah, and Amazon, everybody should be running from Amazon right now. Amazon's been pushing a bunch of ads. They're changing their operating system. There won't be any side loading in the future. It's obvious. They've already pushed that new OS is out. It's already been pushed onto some Amazon devices, not the Fire TV devices, but it's coming. And anybody who thinks it's not, they're fooling themselves. So, recommendation for hosting software on a custom server. Yeah, just Windows Professional. You just need a Windows Professional. 10 Professional is what I run. You can buy a key if you want to run server. You can run a server OS. You can go get 2019 server very cheap. Uh, Go someplace like Kingwin or G2A.com. Great places for video games, really cheap video games as well. Uh, so kingwin, g2a.com. There's a variety of places you can get keys. Those are just, I'm just throwing those out as just some examples. There's a ton of sites out there, guys, for you to get Windows keys and Office keys and all kinds of stuff. Legitimately, really. I mean, when it comes down to it, they activate and they're good. So you get yourself, if you want, I have a server key that I haven't used yet, and I plan on putting that the next time I tear down or redo my server. It's going to get server, not Windows. It's running Windows 10 Pro right now. It will get upgraded to the server OS instead, because it's just a more solid, more stable OS that's not going to restart or anything like that. Like like Windows 10 does, occasionally. But and the Dell Optiplex is a great option. It's what I'm using. I'm using a Dell Optiplex right now as my server, and my hard drives are mostly all external. So I'm running external boxes, so I'm running roughly 200 terabytes on my particular server that I've got set up, and that just continues to build and build and build because I continue to get more content and etc. But and anybody can do that. Hard drives aren't that much money these days. I mean, you can go out. The last hard drives I bought were some 12 terabyte drives or something like that, and you know, I mean, I got them for like brand new. They were Seagate EXOS drives. They were like $110 or something for hosting the movies and shows, something like a Plex equivalent. Well, my first option would be Plex for you to set up for your server. For hosting the shows, you host them on your own Dell Optiplex server. Um, the If you're talking about like cloud hosting, seed boxes, anything like that, I don't have any recommendations when it comes to those. I haven't used any as of lately to give a good recommendation on one that would be good working. I do know that um, I don't like hosting my content on the internet for a Plex server because, well, Plex has shut those servers down before. If you have your content on your own server, they can't really shut that down. So I hope that helps answer your question, Mike. As far as what uh you were asking about for hosting, but definitely Plex is free. Just start your collection, set up a free Plex, and you just you just load it. You just load it onto Windows. I mean, for instance, let's see here. This is my Plex server right here. So this is my server. And so what happens is you're gonna see all the drives. So here's hard drives that have content. So if I wanted to do anything to my Plex, all I got to do is tell it to go to the location for the content, and Plex will just add the content in there. So just to it's really simple, and all you do is download the Plex server and install it in your Windows, and then it's running. For instance, here's the Plex server right here in the bottom, and if I open Plex, it'll open up into my Plex. And then there is my current Plex right now. So if I wanted to add so I just put it, let's just say I added a new hard drive with new content. I would just click the plus sign and I would tell it whether it's movies, TV shows, music, photos, or other videos. And then, you select that and you hit next, and then you browse the media and you tell it where the media is at. Really simple. So I would just go to the drive that has movies, and there's movies, and select the movies and hit add, and it would add all of those movies to a movies folder. So, but some of the things about Plex that a lot of people don't get is, like, so I have a folder that my new content goes into for new TV shows. So I got new TV episodes here, but this folder is also added to my TV shows section as well. But here's the thing: most people don't realize setting up collections, right? So this was one of the features I believe I got with the Plex Pass that I didn't have before. Collections are very important because if you're going to set up a collection, collections can give you the ability to really organize your content, and you can create what's called smart collections. And when you create smart collections in Plex, a smart collection is something like everything that's got the name the A Team would all be in one collection, or everything. Let's say you want a classic TV collection. So I made a classic TV collection. Everything that is in my Plex that came out before 1999 is in the classic TV collection. So categories give you the ability to create, collections give you a lot of ability to create a bunch of stuff. Categories is another feature that is nice in here. So some people say, well, why should I get a Plex Pass? Well, some of these features are why you want a Plex Pass, is some of the added ability to organize your content. For instance, I got a collection of Stargate. So everything with the name Stargate went in here. So if a new Stargate series was to come out, it would go in here automatically because it's a smart collection. So if I go back to my library and I go to add to, and I'm going to create a smart collection right here. You create a smart collection. It says it's got all these options: match all or any of the following. Show titles, you can go by studio, network, country, show rating. All of these options. There's a bunch of options. And contains, does not contain. So you can give it a bunch of different things to go by to create your collection. So I have been working on creating a bunch of collections in order to better organize my Plex. And then I created a holiday movie and holiday TV show collection section for putting Halloween, Christmas, all kinds of holiday stuff in there. So it just depends on your Plex, how you want to do your collection. Your collection is yours, whatever way you decide to do it. I even have a music video. One of the things about the music video is one of the ways I really kind of had to do music videos was because I don't think Plex really does music videos very well. I had to do other videos, and then I have to set up collections so that I'm just starting setting up these collections. And if I go to my library, I have it set up to go by folder. That way I can view the folders instead. But if I just had it go to movies, it's just going to show all of the music videos that are in here. Music is a whole different animal. Music does bring up information if you have stuff in there with the proper discography. So that comes up pretty well. And then I got obviously animated TV, so lots and lots of animation in here. So, and then under animation TV, same thing. I've been doing collections. So I've got Hanna-Barbera, Disney, more adultish cartoons like the the Boys Diabolical and Aeon Flux, and then and Harley Quinn, Transformer collection, Star Wars, Star Trek sci-fi collection. So I made, a prime time collection, which King of the Hill and Family Guy and stuff like that is in there. So I just did a bunch of different collections for different things like that. So, when it comes down to it, uh you can really do a lot depending on how you want to create your Plex. It's really up to you. Um how you want to lay it all out. And so I've had a pretty big Plex for quite a few years. I mean, we're talking 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know. I've been before it was Plex, it was just movies and TV shows on my hard drives. It wasn't in any kind of software like this. And the and Plex is very easy. When you put it on Windows and you go into to in here to create your Plex, it's not hard. It's a fairly simple process. So that is one thing I think it has going for it. There is a lot of options in the settings area that you can change for quality and just different things in here that I'm not even going to get into. But there's a lot of information having to do with, depending on if you have a Plex Pass or not, different settings you can change for the transcoding and so on and so forth. So that just kind of depends on the person as to what they want to do. Let's. So that is kind of a little overview of Plex. Hopefully that helps a few of you out. Let's see. Skulls has a MB on his MyCloud, and whatever works out for you. I mean, there's not really a right or wrong. I'm just giving you my recommendation. It's not like that's just stuck, stamped in gold. That's the only way you can do it. You got to do it that way, or else. I mean, no, I'm just giving you guys some information to go on, and hopefully you can take that information and then decide for yourself what's best for you, because that's ultimately what we all have to do. There's no, again, no right or wrong. Some of you aren't going to be able to get anywhere close to a 1 gig internet connection. So do you really need to go with a 2.5 gig network, switch and network controller and a router and all that? No, you guys don't need to do that. Most of you don't need this equipment that I got. Most of you would be fine on a lot of just normal, nice routers that are out there. So, I'm just showing you like what kind of stuff is available. You got to understand, I'm a network expert, computer expert. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing will be over a lot of people's heads and may not be what you want to do. So if that's the case, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not an expert on cars, so a car expert might have more cars than me, and have some race cars and be able to do a lot of things that I can't do with their cars. So that I don't need to do, but they might need to because they're in that business. So Mike said he likes the connections tab. All right. Well, I was going to get off of here a little bit ago, so I'm going to jump off now. And again, everybody leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you like, what you would like to see going forward from me. And hopefully we have we have a good time with some more live shows, and maybe I'll actually produce some actual tutorial step-by-step content. This was more just coming on here, having fun, and talking with you guys about what you like and what you want to do, and etc. etc. So I'll see you in the next stream. You guys have a great evening.